Hi everyone, Sahar here. So some of you might know that I love DIY projects. I like creating different things. I like gifting them or using them around my house as decorative pieces. So today I thought I'd show you guys one of the things that I've made in the past and recreate it with you guys. So this is a lovely little lamp that I made that you can put around your house or you can gift it to someone. Super simple and really meaningful because you can use your favorite picture, a memory from a special time. You can use a piece of art, anything you really like. You can kind of transform this simple mason jar into a little light, which is an awesome gift or a decorative piece. So let's go inside and I'll teach you guys how to make this. So for the supplies that you're going to need, I would start with finding the graphic or image that you want to use as your light background. From there, you're going to want to find a mason jar. You can find them usually at a dollar store. You'll also need to grab some Twinkle lights. You may be able to find that at a dollar store as well or a Walmart. Then from there, you'll need a ruler, scissors, pencil, measuring tape. And then this is totally optional, but something to kind of put holes into your image. You can use like shape cutters that I have, like a heart and star, or a hole punch, or anything sharp that you can poke a hole with will be great. I've also listed the supplies below this video in the description so you can go over them there as well. So you're going to want to start by measuring your jar. And when you're selecting your jar, don't choose anything too big because you may have a hard time finding an image that fits perfectly well. First thing would be to measure the height of your jar, and as you're doing this, take into consideration any ridges that it has that might prevent the image from fitting in perfectly. From there, you want to measure the circumference of your jar. That way you'll know the width of your image or how long it should be, and if you need to use one or two images to fill the whole jar perfectly. When you are measuring, it's okay if you take it a little bit bigger because then that gives you some wiggle room to adjust the image size. Once you have your measurements, go ahead and take the picture that you've selected or the image and measure it out and cut it accordingly. Then you're going to want to pop it into the jar to make sure that it fits correctly. If not, you can take it out and adjust it. Maybe you need to trim it down a little bit more to make sure that it's nice and snug against the wall of the jar. Because my main image doesn't fully fit around the jar, I've chosen a plain piece of blue paper to continue to cover the rest of the jar to make sure that it's fully covered. You can choose to maybe print out a different image, like clouds in this case, but I'm just using what I have at home. And I'm doing the same thing where I'm measuring it out to make sure that it fits properly inside of the jar. And in this case, I'm considering the circumference of the jar to make sure that it wraps around fully. Again, you're going to want to pop it into the jar to make sure that it fits well and that it's nice and snug and you have your measurements correct. If not, you can just take it out and trim it down if necessary. So now for the fun part. So you can choose a shape cutter, a hole punch, or just something to poke holes in to the image. It gives it a really cool effect because you can see the light shining through. I've chosen the star cutter and I've just cut a few stars around my niece's picture here. So in my case, I need to stick my main image to the blue cardstock that I chose to wrap around the rest of my jar. So you are going to need tape for this, which I did forget to mention at the beginning. And what you're simply going to do is tape down two ends of the image and the cardstock paper. Then you're going to prop it inside of your jar, adjust accordingly, and then tape. But if you see that there's a bit of overlap and it's hiding the stars or the cutouts, then you're going to want to take it out, trim it down, and then make sure that it fits properly. So now it's time to add the lights. So if your Twinkle lights didn't come with batteries, make sure you add those in as well. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and put it inside your jar. Make sure you turn it on. Put on the lid, flip it over, and voila, there's your little light, with whatever image that you chose, whether it was a quote, a piece of art, or a picture of a loved one like I've chosen here, a beautiful picture of my little niece that I absolutely adore. And it makes a perfect gift, or you can put it up on a shelf in one of your spaces at home. Thank you for watching my very first DIY video, and I hope this inspires you to get creative.